Hello everyone and welcome to another class of Virtual Private Cloud Components. Today in our class we are going to discuss about next component of Virtual Private Cloud, which is Network Access Control List. So let's have a look on network ACLs, which are Access Control List. So this is another layer of security that acts as a stateless firewall on a subnet level. So that means Network ACL, which is a numbered list of rules that AWS evaluates in a order. So whenever we create a custom network access control list, its initial configuration will deny all inbound and outbound traffic until you create rules that allows. That means in network access control list, we require to create a list of rules for inbound and outbound traffic, and it is a numbered list. So it starts with the lowest numbered rule to determine whether traffic is allowed in or out of any subnet associated with network ACL. So in and out of any subnet. That's why this is another layer of security at the subnet level. So it will deny all inbound and outbound until user create rules that allows it. So let's have a look on difference between the security group and network ACL, as we have discussed about security groups also. So this is a security group is the very first layer of defense, whereas network ACLs are a second layer of defense. Security groups operate at an instance level, whereas network ACL it works on subnet level. Security groups are stateful and network ACLs are stateless. Now what is the difference between the stateful and the stateless? Stateful return traffic automatically allowed regardless of any rules, whereas network ACLs return traffic must be specified with the help of rules. In security group, it evaluates all rules before deciding where to allow traffic. Whereas in network ACLs, AWS processes rules in a numbered order while deciding to allow traffic. It is selectively to the instances. It is automatically applied to all the instances which are associated with the particular subnet. This is also called as backup layer of defense. These are basically the difference between the two, security group and network ACLs. So security group basically supports allow rules only, whereas network ACLs it allows rules and deny rules. It supports both. We have some more components of Amazon VPC. Additional components we can say we have internet gateways, elastic IP addresses, elastic network interfaces, endpoints, peering, network address translation, virtual private gateway, customer gateway, and virtual private networks. So let's discuss about these. So very first is internet gateway. What IGW? So it allows communication between the instances in the virtual private cloud and internet. That's why it is called as internet gateway. It is highly available Amazon VPC component. So it will provide a route table for internet routable traffic. So it performs network address translation that has been assigned with public IP addresses. So Amazon EC2 instances are only aware of their private IP addresses. That means you have instances in Amazon EC2 and those instances are aware of only their private IP addresses. So, first condition, when traffic is sent from an instance to internet, that means when we send traffic from an instance to traffic, the internet gateway translates the reply address to instance public IP addresses. That means when we want to send traffic from an instance to internet, so in between we have internet gateway. So it will reply addresses to instance public IP address and maintain one or one-to-one map of an instance private IP address and public IP address. So IGW basically maps one-to-one mapping of instance public IP address and private IP address. When an instance receive a traffic from an internet gateway, that means when we want to receive traffic from IGW or internet, so in between we have internet gateway. This will translates destination address, which is a public IP address, to instance private IP address, and then forward traffic to VPC. That means it will translate your public IP address to private and private to public. So, and it is in between your internet and your instance or EC2, which is a virtual private cloud. So this is basically the function of internet gateway. So whenever we require to create public subnet for with internet access, we require to attach an IGW with your VPC. Then we require to create a route table to send your traffic, and then configure ACLs and security group so that it can allow your traffic in and out of the instance. So to enable, we require to assign an IP address. We call it as EIP address. So next component we have elastic IP addresses. So AWS, Amazon Web Services, maintains a pool of IP addresses in each region. That means in each region we have a number of IP addresses, and those IP addresses are available for users so that they can associate that IP address with the resources within a virtual private cloud. Elastic IP address is the static and public IP address in the pool or for a region. User can allocate to their account, that means they can pull from the pool and they can return back or release back to the pool. So that's why elastic IP addresses. Now, user must first allocate an elastic IP address for use within a virtual private cloud, and then it will assign to the instance. These are specific to a region, and we have one-to-one relationship between the network interfaces and elastic IP addresses. User can move from EIPs, can move elastic IP addresses from one instance to another. But those are in the same virtual private cloud or different virtual private cloud, but in a same region. So there are charges for EIP allocated to user accounts, even when they are not associated with any resource. Next component we have elastic network interfaces. Elastic ENI is a virtual network interface that user can attach to an instance. It has one public IP address and multiple private IP addresses. One address may act as a primary and other primary address from a multiple private IP address. ENIs allow users to create management network. It can use network and security appliances in your VPC. We can create dual homed instances with workloads. We can create budget and highly availability solutions with these ENIs. Next we have endpoints. A virtual or an Amazon virtual private cloud endpoint, it enables users to create private connection between your VPC and other services. So that means we can create a private connection without requiring access over the internet. Amazon VPC endpoints, it supports communication with S3 and other services may be added in future. User can create multiple endpoints for a single service. User can use different route tables to enforce different access policies. So these are some other components. We will discuss more components in our next class. Thank you so much.